Jum3a Mubarak everyone, happy Friday. I hope Ramadan is treating you well. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make Mulah Roub, which is a Sudanese favorite during Ramadan. It's a stew that's made of yogurt, dried okra powder, and optionally some peanut butter. It's one of my childhood favorites and hope you enjoy. So we're gonna go over our ingredients for the Mulah Roub. You need roub, which is yogurt. You need onions, ground meat, okra, dried okra powder, tomato paste, tomatoes, some peanut butter, garlic, your spices, and some water. First, you're gonna add some oil to your pan and fry the onion. Here I used one large onion. Don't worry, it's not too much, it's going to reduce later. Now you see the onions have been sweating and falling a little bit, like that. Don't cover them, otherwise the onions will get too soggy. Then we're going to add our ground meat. Usually in Sudan we use sharmout, which is cured meat in salt, lots of spices and oil, but we don't have sharmout here, so we're just going to use our ground meat. If you want, you can dehydrate your meat in the oven with like lots of spices and salt. We're going to add in our garlic. And we want our meat to get fried, our meat and onions to fry really well and kind of dry out. Now that it has a little color to it, we're gonna add our tomatoes. We're gonna add our tomatoes. Then we're also gonna add some water. And let the water evaporate. So we'll use this mufraka tool, which helps break up the onions and tomatoes. Like that. Now you see how the water has evaporated. We're now going to add some tomato paste. I'm not a big fan of tomato paste, but it just makes for a nice stew. And we're going to add some of our spices now. Most important, coriander and cumin. And the rest is a trade secret. Look at that. We're going to add some more water and let it evaporate once more. Very important process. It just ties in those flavors really nicely. And you can use your tool again to break up the onions and the tomatoes and the meat as well. I went ahead and passed some of it through a blender just to get that robe-like consistency, and I'm just letting again the water evaporate and this to thicken. So now that the water has evaporated, we're gonna add our yogurt, our robe. You want to use natural plain yogurt, no flavors, no vanilla or strawberry. I'm just kidding. You don't want any of those sweet flavors to enter your stew. You want it to be a little bit, tangy, acidic. And we're just gonna mix it up like this. And the mufraka really helps mix this all up nicely. Need some arm strength. This is the gym. We're gonna add a little water as well, because soon we're gonna add our dried okra. Add the rest of our spices at this point. So right now the stew is very water-like, very liquidy. So what the dried okra is gonna do is tie the whole stew together. You just need a little bit, not too much. I got this from Sudan. Find your Sudanese community and get some dried okra powder from them. I think the DMV has the most Sudanese, like Virginia, Maryland, DC. So find your people there or make a trip down. And this is when you really need the mufraka tool because it just breaks it up so nicely. That's what it's made for. Look at that. It's already thickening. Yes. See the weka, the dried okra powder, gets thicker over time, overnight, so you really don't have to add too much. And last but not least, we're gonna add a bit of our dakwa, which is our peanut butter, and also have that melt in nicely to the stew. كده خلاص. That's it for Mulah Roub. And we're just gonna serve it with some qasida, Sudanese fufu, and that's it. This is a favorite during Ramadan. You see the consistency now? It's way thicker. So then you're gonna serve it with some qasida. Ooh, ooh.